The Absolute Law of Karma, written by Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, Audio 5. Kriyaman Karmas, Physical Karmas. Physical actions fall in the category of Kriyaman Karmas. These produce co-current results. Consumption of drugs is followed by intoxication. Death follows consumption of poison. Human body is made up of 5 natural basic elements. Interaction between these natural elements produces immediate reaction. As soon as we touch fire, fingers are burned. Law of nature governs interaction between natural elements. Defiance of these laws invites almost constant punishment by nature. When a physical body is compelled to live on foods and habits incompatible with its physiology, there is an immediate disturbance in the natural balance of the body, which results in disease and weakening of the harmonious working of the biological system. This is nature's mechanism for rectification. Vegetarianism is meant for human species since, contrary to the physiology of the carnivorous man, has been provided with a smaller canine teeth and a larger intestine as compared to carnivorous. The smaller intestine of the carnivores do not let accumulation of the residual toxin of animal fat in the body. Besides, the flesh-eating animals are provided with a long tongue. The vegetarian use their lip for consuming liquids. Physical karmas are mechanically carried out by the body without any emotional involvement. Unlike Sanchit and Prarabdha karma, they produce fruits in a very short time. New topic. Welcome the sufferings. Distress is an unwelcome phenomenon. It immediately experiences bitterness. Nevertheless, ultimately, it is meant for the well-being and happiness of man. Distress is an extraordinary effective mechanism provided by God for rectification of evil traits and augmentation of positive values. Life is a blissful and self-enlightened spark of the Supreme Being. She has self-created this world which is intrinsically blissful. The brief interludes of unhappiness in life are provided to give the needed moments for momentum to the progressive evolution of the soul by reminding the being about the true purpose of the life, which is awakening to its original nature as a spark of the divine. Events producing unhappiness in life are few and their impact is self-evident. Nevertheless, we must remember that whatever little suffering we come across, it is a result of our own forgetfulness of our divine source. Being a spark of a blissful Supreme Being, the soul is intrinsically blissful. Nor is there any natural unhappiness in the basic structure of the cosmos, which is orderly and harmonious. Do not be afraid of the misfortunes, which creates unhappiness. Do not lose your mental equilibrium. Face misfortune boldly, instead of getting worried or uneasy. Be prepared to sail through them. Embrace misfortune as though it were an ill-mannered but warm-hearted friend who uses foul language, makes unpleasant criticism. Nevertheless, when misfortune goes, it leaves behind the gift of a large treasure of wisdom and insight. Like a brave soldier, face misfortune definitely and say, "Oh, on coming misfortunes, you are like my children. I am your creator. Therefore, I welcome you with open arms. You are my legitimate offspring. Therefore, I won't disown you. You are free to play in the courtyard of my life. I am not a coward. I won't shed tears in desperation on meeting you. I am morally no bankrupt as to avoid paying for my own misdeed. Being a creation of that Supreme Being, I am a spark of that absolute truth, absolute benefaction and absolute virtue. Come, ugly product of my ignorant karmas. Come, I have courage to accommodate you in my life. I don't need help from anyone. You have arrived to test how courageous I am, and I am prepared to face you. Friends, don't commit blasphemy. Don't ever say this word is bad, wicked, unvirtuous, and full of unhappiness. In this world created by God, each element is a masterpiece. Nothing is bad in the holistic view of creation. If you blame the creation, you are also creating aspiration on its creator. Saying that the pot is badly made means the commenting on the proficiency of the potter. How dare you underrate the qualification of your omnipotent Father Mother? When you say that this world is full of misery, you are casting aspiration on the integrity of the God. In this celestial creation, there is not an iota of unhappiness. Our ignorance itself is the cause of our bad karmas and consequent miseries. Come, let us cleanse and purify our inner selves to our evil thoughts and wickedness so that we are finally released from our miseries and acquires ultimate deliverance. New topic. Create your own word. The physical cosmos, according to the philosopher, is made up of inner components which can be molded into any desired configuration. The doer, man, and animate, whereas elements of the cosmos are inert. The animate doer has the capacity to utilize an inert substance as needed. A potter has a free choice to make an object of pottery out of raw mud. A goldsmith can make any ornament from gold. With the needle and thread, a tailor may make a shirt or a trouser. The material would consist of elements creating three types of qualitative reactions in life. In spiritual parlance, these natural attributes of the world are known as Sat, Raj, and Tam. Broadly speaking, Sat stands for the most refined, cohesive, and superconductive medium of the spirit. Tam for the most opaque, sluggish, and perverted, and Raj is the most perturbed and unstable, in which both Sat and Tam coexist in continued disequilibrium. Man is free to choose any combination of attributes amongst these, with the one predominant over the other two. In a garden there is a slush, filth, as well as the fragrance of flower. Worms creep into the mud, flies find out of the filth, and the bees go straight to the flowers. Everyone receives things of one's choice. Bats and owls can see even during the darkest night. Honeybees are able to detect fructose in the tiny flowers hidden in the thick bush, and the poisonous snakes manufactured venom out of the harmless organic substance. In this world, good and bad things, virtues and vices, morality and immorality exist everywhere. It is like that the super cafeteria, where the customer has a free choice to procure sweet, sour, or bitter fruit. The shelves of the supermarket of the world are stocked with stuffs of unlimited varieties. Customers enter the shop and purchase items of their taste. One supreme mother has kept prepared dishes for everyone to taste. The idiosphere, personal ideological environment of a thief, is overwhelmed with the thievery. The idiosphere will easily interact with the compatible idiosphere of other thieves. Be it a prison, society, or house, everywhere a thief will find thievery being discussed. His family members will generally talk about thievery. Some will support his avocation, others oppose it. When the thief moves in the society, persons known to him will pass good or bad comments about his profession. When he meets fellow thieves, they will talk only about the tricks of the trades. In prison, thieves will flock together and immediately discuss their favorite subject. In this way, a thief will find the entire world revolving around thievery. He will regard thievery as the most important trade and think very little of anything else. He will be indifferent to other things in life. Similarly, an adulterer or adulteress will see an adulterant in each man and woman. He and she will collect and display erotic photographs, paintings, and literature in the house. Friends and acquaintances having similar inclination will be easily found. In his or her mind, sex will become the most important issue in life. In the same manner, drunkards and drug addicts create their own world. It is up to you to create the world of your own choice. New topic. Who are you? Each individual has a different identities for different roles in life. This identity depends on the relationship with the person with whom he or she interacts. For mother, he or she may be an object of material affection, for father an obedient child, and for a teacher an intelligent pupil, and for friends a dependable good-humored buddy. Wife look at a man as her beloved darling, whereas his son relates to him as his father. The same person appears to be enemy as an adversary, or to a shopkeeper as a customer, to a servant as a master, to a horse as a rider, to a caged bird as a jailer. Bed bugs and mosquitoes find him as nothing else but a source of delicious blood. If one could visualize the various mental images which people have for an individual, it would be found that each person has one's own peculiar concept and none of these conform to the other. Besides, none of these images identifies the whole individual accurately. Everyone conceptualizes an individual according to the particular band with which they are mutually related to each other. It is even more amusing that man himself lives confused in his multi-personal bands. Throughout lives, he lives with the multiple self-identifications. Various thoughts like, I am adulterated, I am wealthy, I am old, I have no family, I am ugly, I am popular, I am unhappy, I am surrounded by a wild person, keep on changing and churning his idiosphere. As other person from an image about an individual according to their interest, the individual too builds an eccentric, lopsided image of himself based on perceptions of his sense organs. Like a drugged person, he keeps on hallucinating in his numerous momentary identities. If he could truly identify with his own inner self, he would be surprised to know how far he has stayed away from the truth. Man always lives in a make-believe world created by his own imagination. In this dream world, one man builds castle in the air, the other fights with the windmills like Don Quixote, and yet other derives pleasure of embracing and kissing his beloved while fondling his pet dog. Deluded by ignorance, we are all hallucinating in an imaginary world. One thinks that he is living in a palace. The other trembles because of imaginary fears. Yet another daydream of being engaged to the most beautiful damsel in the world. Some insane person is found rejoicing in showing off wealth and kingdom. The world is like a mental asylum where we find all types of madcap. Each has one's own eccentricity. Everyone considers himself as a most intelligent person. Go to a mental asylum and observe the fantasies of a long-term inmates. You will find a close parallel to a daydreamers of his world who very much consider themselves as sane and sober.